Welcome to the stream. I really appreciate you showing up. So for 5 weeks, I'm going to teach you guys 100 must-know Korean expressions. And today's day 1. Today, we're gonna learn 20 must-know Korean expressions. Like I use these phrases all the time. So I thought sharing these would be super helpful for you guys to learn. Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys the topic of today's lesson. So I was going to introduce greetings and introduction and how to say good morning, good afternoon, good night, and how are you. So it's about when you are meeting somebody for the first time. Let's get started. So first expression is 안녕하세요. Repeat after me. 안녕하세요. 안녕하세요 is hello in Korean. You can use it when you're talking to older person or if you have to show respect. 안녕하세요. Alright? Next is 안녕. Repeat after me. 안녕. 안녕. This is hello. So you and I, we're besties, right? So if you're talking to your friends and you want to say hi, you can say 안녕. 안녕. 안녕 is hi in a very informal way. Next up, 처음 뵙겠습니다. Repeat after me. 처음 뵙겠습니다. So 처음 뵙겠습니다 means nice to meet you. Like, how do you do? Like, when you meet somebody for the first time, you can use this phrase. 처음 means first, and 뵙겠습니다 is to meet in a formal way. So, if you say 처음 뵙겠습니다, it means nice to meet you. Okay, moving on. Next is 만나서 반가워요. 만나서 반가워요. Alright, so this also means nice to meet you. Okay, 만나서 came from 만나다. 만나다. plus blah blah 해서. So 만나다 is to meet, okay? 만나서 came from 만나다, which means to meet. And if you see a phrase ends with blah blah 해서, so if you see A plus blah blah 해서 means you did some like behavior here, so you are feeling, or this is the result. So A plus blah blah 해서, the result is B. So in this case, to meet, 반가워요 means nice. So I meet you, so it's very nice. It's nice to meet you. That makes sense? Alright, so the next expression is 만나서, same thing. 만나서, to meet, 영광이에요. Repeat after me. 만나서, 영광이에요. 만나서, 영광이에요. So 영광 means honored. So this means I'm so honored to meet you. 만나서 영광이에요. So you can use this phrase when you're meeting somebody and you feel super honored, like you're meeting your K-pop star, your favorite K-pop star. You can say, 만나서 정말 영광이에요. Oh, I'm taking this cute Korean girl out to dinner tonight. Do you have some phrases that I can impress her with? You can say 귀여워. 귀여워 means you're cute. Oh, hopefully it goes well. Alright, moving on. When you're meeting somebody for the first time, what are the questions you ask? You are gonna ask their name, right? So we're gonna learn how to ask a name in Korean. Number 6 is 이름이 뭐야? 이름 is name and 뭐야 means what. So what's your name? 이름이 뭐야? Repeat after me. 이름이 뭐야? So, what are your names? Let me know in the chat. 이름이 뭐야? Besties. Okay? So number 6 was what's your name, and number 7 is also asking a name, but in a very formal way. So 성함, you see here, 성함 is a formal way of saying 이름. Let's say you're meeting like a professor or your boss or your friend's parent. So when you want to ask their name, you have to use 성함 instead of 이름. Okay? So 성함이 어떻게 되세요? Repeat after me. 성함이 어떻게 되세요? Yes, number 7 was what's your name in a very formal way. So moving on to number 8. So they ask you your name. You have to answer with your name, right? So number 8 is how to say your name. Okay, so my name is Jiji. 제 이름은 Jiji입니다. So you can put your name in front of 입니다. So you can say 제 이름은 Artemis입니다. Okay, moving on. Number 9. Number 9, so you introduce your name and you want to introduce yourself like, oh, I'm a student, I'm a teacher, I'm a working professional. Number 9, you can use this phrase to introduce yourself about your occupation or your identity. It reads, 저는 blah blah입니다. So for example, I want to say I'm a student. Then you can say student is 학생. So you can say 저는 학생입니다. If you want to say I'm a teacher, teacher is 선생님. You can say 저는 선생님입니다. Okay, that makes sense? You can put whatever noun in front of 입니다 to introduce yourself. All right, great job. Moving on, number 10. So you introduce your name and you introduce your student, and Koreans love to ask this question. So in Korea, you know, we speak to people in a different way depending on their age. You know, like if you're talking to somebody who is older than you, you have to show respect. And if you're talking to your friends, you can talk like informally, right? So Koreans ask this question a lot, which is number 10. 나이가 어떻게 되세요? 나이가 어떻게 되세요? This means how old are you? So 나이 is age. What's your age? 나이가 어떻게 되세요? You know how we asked 이름 in a formal way, like 성함이 어떻게 되세요, right? So 어떻게 되세요 is used when you are asking something, right? Like if you put 나이, which is age, you're asking about age. And if you put 성함, which is 이름, name, it's asking what's your name. So you see the pattern here. All right? Great. We're halfway through. All right, moving on. So they ask you your age, like how old are you? Then you're going to answer, I am 16, 18, 20. So when you are talking about your age, so okay, let me back up. So there are two ways of counting numbers in Korean. First is Sino, and the second is native. So I'm not going to spend the whole time we have today to teach you how to read numbers. I'll make another video for that. But for example, like Sino numbers are like 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And native is read 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 다섯, 여섯, 일곱, 여덟, 아홉, 열, right? So when you are talking about your name, your age, it's natural to use a native number. So like for example, I want to say I am 16. Instead of saying 저는 16살입니다, it's a lot more natural to say 저는 16살입니다, which is using native Korean number. Okay? Hopefully this makes sense. And 살 is, when we're counting age, we use 살. Okay? Like 10 살, like 20 살, like 32 살. Make sense? Alright. That was 저는, whatever your age, 살입니다. 저는, your age, 살입니다. Alright, cool. Moving on, number 12 is... Okay, so I get this question a lot. Like, people ask me, like, how do you say how are you in Korean? So, one thing that I realized after thinking about it is we don't really ask how are you that much, but the closest that I can think of is this phrase, the number 2, 어떻게 지내세요? Repeat after me. 어떻게 지내세요? 어떻게 지내세요? Alright, so 어떻게 is how, and 지내세요 is have been. So how have you been? So if you translate this phrase into English, it's how have you been? That's the closest I can think of if you want to say how are you. Alright? Alright, moving on to 13 and 14 and 15. So I wanted to introduce how to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening in Korean. But we do not use those phrases that often. We do say good morning, which is number 13. This 좋은 means good, and 아침 means morning. So this translates literally good morning. 좋은 아침. Repeat after me. 좋은 아침. 좋은 아침. So this is good morning, right? But afternoon is 오후, okay? Afternoon is 오후, and evening is 저녁 in Korean. So, like English, so you can just put like good in front of 오후 and good in front of 저녁 to say good afternoon and good evening, right? In theory, but we don't use 좋은 오후 or 좋은 저녁. Like I have never used 좋은 오후 in my life. Like 좋은 저녁, that's kind of weird. Like people would be like, interesting. That's like new thing, I guess. I've never heard of it, right? So I was thinking then, what do we really say when I greet somebody in the afternoon, right? So I think we use this a lot. This phrase is 식사하셨어요. 식사하셨어요. 식사 means meal. 하셨어요 is asking, did you eat? So 식사하셨어요 is did you eat? So you can ask 식사하셨어요 at any point of the day. Like for example, in the morning 식사하셨어요. In the afternoon 식사하셨어요. Like at night 식사하셨어요. Like we ask this a lot. Like Koreans love to ask like did you eat? Like have you eaten? I guess that's how Koreans ask how are you? You can put 점심. 점심 means lunch. So you can ask 점심 식사하셨어요, meaning did you have lunch? So you can use this instead of good afternoon, 좋은 오후. Alright? And number 15. This is another phrase that we use a lot. Obviously this cannot replace good evening because we can use this in a kind of special situation where, so this literally translates to, so you've done a great job, you've done an amazing job. So it's not really good evening, but let's say you are getting off work or you're done with your class and you are saying goodbye to your coworkers or your classmates. You can say 수고하셨습니다. 수고하셨습니다. It's a formal way of saying you've done a great job today. We use this a lot, all the time. So if you're talking to your classmates or friends, you can say 수고했어. 수고했어. 오늘 수고했어. Okay? Tour guide? Yes. Yeah, you can totally say this to a tour guide. Yeah. Yeah. You want to show your appreciation saying like 네, 수고하셨습니다. 네, 안녕히 가세요. Yeah, totally you can use. So, now we're going to learn how to say bye. Okay, when we are saying bye, there are a lot of phrases that you can use. Number 16 is 내일 봐요. Repeat after me. 내일 봐요. 내일 means tomorrow. So 봐요 means see you. So 내일 봐요 means see you tomorrow. Okay. So see you tomorrow is one of the phrases that you can use when you're saying bye. 내일 봐요. 안녕. 내일 봐요. Okay. So 내일 봐요 is like a formal way of saying see you tomorrow. And if you're talking to your friends, you can just drop yo and say 안녕, 내일 봐. 안녕, 내일 봐 to your friends. Okay? All right, number 17 is 안녕히 가세요. You have to always bow. 안녕히 가세요. So this is said by the person who is staying. So you are the person who is making the coffee, greeting the customer. And the customer got the coffee and she or he or they are leaving. And you can say 안녕히 가세요. You can say to the customer leaving, say 안녕히 가세요. Okay? Because 안녕히 가세요 is goodbye said by the person who is staying. Okay? But number 18 is 안녕히 계세요. So this is goodbye said by the person leaving, right? So going back to that example where you got the coffee and you're leaving the cafe and you can say 안녕히 계세요. 안녕히 계세요. Thank you for the coffee. 안녕히 계세요. Okay? So 안녕히 가세요. Repeat after me. 안녕히 가세요. 안녕히 가세요. That means goodbye, said by the person staying. And number 18 is 안녕히 계세요. It's goodbye, but said by the person leaving. Okay? Good job. All right, number 19. We're almost there. Number 19 is 잘 가. 잘 가. 잘 가 is also goodbye, but this literally basically means 잘 means well and 가 means go. So well, go. Like 잘 가. Well, go. 잘 가. Does that make sense? You can say this when you are saying bye to your friends, 안녕, 잘 가. Okay? Finally, the last phrase is 또 봐. 또 봐. 또 봐 means 또 means again, 봐 is see you. So see you again. 또 봐. 또 봐. Got it? You can say 안녕. That's also useful to say goodbye. Like 안녕. 안녕. But after 안녕, you can add these phrases, to, number 16 and number 19 and 20. Okay? Bye. See you tomorrow. 안녕, 내일 봐요. 안녕, 내일 봐요. And you can say goodbye. 안녕, 잘 가. 안녕, 잘 가. And 20, bye, see you again. You can say 안녕, 또 봐. 안녕, 또 봐. Okay, so that's what I prepared for today's lesson. But thank you so much for coming. Great job today. I'm going to stream every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Thank you. Bye, besties. 안녕. I'll see you next week. 다음 주에 봐요. 또 봐.